How the heck are you, everybody? I am Fastidious. Welcome to my channel and a huge welcome to the hottest couple in war. Should I say the sexiest couple in war? Very relevant to this conversation today. We've got Jay and Joe. How you doing, guys?
Hey, we're doing good. It's definitely gonna be a spicy topic today. So, yeah.
Sexy.
Yeah, so we're talking about, guys, is Watcher Realms too sexy? That's kind of the discussion, and it might sound silly, but basically I think the place we want to start it, and I'm going to kind of let Jay and Joe take the lead here because you guys came to me with this idea. If you don't know, Jay and Joe were one of our 5 winners for the Rising CC Award, and I said, hey, we have all these great real prizes like money and in-game avatar borders and rewards and summoning cards, but also if you want, you can like redeem being on my channel at least once a month. And you guys said for sure, so here we are. You came to me with a great idea.
100%.
Thank you. And it's been, if you guys don't know, these guys started as like Lust and Arrogance a few months ago, and it's been a meteoric rise. So definitely go check out their content. Really, really cool, and definitely very different than mine. It's much more edited, it's very professional, and it's a lot shorter. So if you want something, if you don't have time to sit through me yapping for 25 minutes, you can listen to these two for about 6 to 10 minutes, I feel like, typically.
Yeah, that's what we like going for.
Yeah, around 5 to 10.
Yeah.
So yeah, even though it sounds like maybe a joke, guys, it kind of isn't, because we were talking about the growth of the game, and is this something that is going to promote the growth of the game or like stymie it? Could this be a negative or a positive? Certainly, I think all of us can agree, unless you're real wild out there, moments have already happened that probably make the majority of people uncomfortable.
Fastidious.
So at the very least, we got to discuss, what do we think the line is in this whole sexiness in your games? Obviously, it's part of the whole dark fantasy thing. We're gonna have sexiness, but then there's like, for me, like it's funny you came to me with this now, and I think probably it's with Honora and stuff like that. For me, nothing has been more egregious than Livian. That's always been the number one for me.
That cutscene is rough. Yeah. No, I totally understand. You skip that cutscene every time for good reason. So.
Yeah, even though the very first part you just can't skip. It's
exactly.
right there.
Yeah. But for you, might as well start with you. Where do you feel like personally? Where is the line for you, and who crossed that? You know what I mean?
I personally think I thought about it a little bit, and personally, I think it's when the character shows everything in your face. Like you have you have characters that are half covered. You see the boobs, but not entirely. You see a little part, maybe like a half of a thigh. But then you have Lust, and Lust is like
that's her main design is her breasts. Is what you're saying? It's
all in your face. The first time you click on it, it's like, there you go.
Yeah, and you were talking about how Ardea doesn't feel like that, because the first thing you see are her big ass blades.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think if there's like some sort of element that distracts you a little bit, like blades, like cool design, or anything like that, staffs, anything, swords, but you're like not. I mean, at least me. I don't know about.
Sure, everybody's got that's a big thing, is everybody has their own line here, and we would really like if you guys to talk about in the comments, where is your line, because if we can get a good idea, if the developers get a good idea, they know where they can and cannot cross. I think that's the main goal of this video, is to try to, as a community, figure that out.
Let us know what you think, guys, because some of you want to say, I mean, a lot of people have already called me a prude before because of some of my reactions. If you want to do that, do it. If you want to say all the characters should be like hentai busting out breasts as big as their heads, sure. If you want to say they shall be flat-chested and in a habit, a nun's habit, that's also fine. We want to know what you guys think. I'll tell you, for me with Lust, I think it's hilarious. If you guys don't know, there's a very popular commercial, or at least they ran it a lot, commercial of me reacting to Lust, because my reaction was like, what the heck? And it was funny because the commercial came out, and like 3 days later, the commercial got censored. That just shows you, it crossed YouTube's line. They blurred out her little nipple tassels. The Lust thing was funny, and I didn't hate it. It actually is not one of my most egregious, because like Lust is a stripper. Like that's like, she's got a stripper name. She goes and she has a whip, and she gives Arrogance a lap dance, and it's crazy, but it was Valentine's Day, and I was like, whatever, and it made a ton of money for the game, so clearly it was a W. And I feel like Lust set this bar that they keep doubling down on, and I feel like we're kind of talking about this now because of Honora, and I do agree, the first 4.5 seconds or whatever of the Anora cinematic are insane. Like,
yeah, no, it's that's okay. So that's the thing, is that for me personally, Lust was fine. Lust is in the lore. She's literally the embodiment of Lust. Totally fine.
Yeah, it's her name.
For me, yeah, exactly. For me though, when you see Anora and you see something that is clearly not the dragon's tail she's fondling, you know, like that is
That's not mentioned.
So when I feel like the main people, the complaint people are gonna have when they're watching this video, are they're gonna say, all right, but I like boobs, I like all this stuff, this is a huge part of the game, I enjoy it, spices things up a little bit, it makes it stand out. What's the problem? You guys are complaining about nothing, whatever it is, right? That's the main thing you're gonna see. Now, for me personally, the way I respond to that is a game like this needs to be, think about it like Marvel. Marvel, everybody can watch Marvel, everybody can enjoy Marvel. Raid Shadow Legends, everybody can enjoy that game, right? It's made for everybody.
I don't know if everybody can enjoy that. No, I'm kidding.
Sure. No, yeah. I've heard horror stories, but you know, it's made to grab everybody, and that's what's great about its commercial and stuff like that. Is it doesn't limit the audience. The thing is that if you want this game to be successful, they need to have a very big and wide net, a huge audience that they can try to grab for if you want to see this game to grow, right? So that's the main thing. Are they going too far and limiting their audience too much, so that when somebody thinks, wow, I like this game, I have recommended this game to so many people, and one of the first things I hear them say is, well, this game, like, some of the designs are like a bit too far, you know, and this is just maybe a stupid thing that it stuck to my head, but my little sister, she doesn't know I've seen this comic because she deleted it. But she once put in our comment section, she said that I don't like a single design for a female in this game. Now, I completely disagree. I think like 70% of the designs of the females are truly like fantastic and like some of my favorite characters in the game. But the thing is, I would say, I don't know about you, Fasti, if you agree, I would say it's getting worse, right? We were looking at the most recent characters. We were looking at the skin for Dolores. They somehow made Dolores more sexy. And we saw the skin for Vierna, and we saw Anora, and we saw Lust, and we saw Serafina, and it's like, it's getting, and the big problem, the huge one for most people, the Idril skin, right? It's getting worse.
Yeah,
you know I mean?
I don't agree with every example you just gave, but like, yeah, Idril, Serafina, Lust is like a whole new thing. Anora, I think, is like the best looking hero in the game. I think the version of Anora that's the actual character is fine. Like the little butt in the back, like I actually like it's not huge boobs, which is like kind of cool to like, you know, there's more sizes than just quadruple H or whatever it is. But the Anora we see in the cinematic is not Anora until Ymeret busts through the ice, because that Anora is just, and she doesn't even look like a fantasy character, just like a hot naked girl on the ice. So that is it feels very porny. The Livian thing feels crazy porny, which is funny because she's maybe the most modest and clothed female character in the game. But it is that just like is, you know, the camera moves this much more and you've got nipples, right? It's like total side boob. There's a reason I don't like the Livian thing at all. I never did. That one's the worst for me. But yeah, the Anora thing, it's like there's so much debate. Is it the tail? Is it the dragon's member? Is it the tongue? Who cares? It's like a being like licking and feeling and rubbing it's weird as hell. Like we'd be lying to say otherwise. That being said, just to wrap up the thought, it's clearly part of the game. I like the game for the game. I think honestly most people do. Sure, I know some people come to the game because they see a Lust commercial or a Nora or a Dahlia or whatever, right? But like the people going for A5 Lust, they want to get the highest GB2. I would say GBT, like chat GPT, GB2 score, right? I was just talking about, I was just finishing a stream where we talked about, is Lust coming back? And I was like, don't you think they want to sell the opportunity for people to get the top Samurai scores? So like that is the core of the game. It always will be. This stuff is on the margins. So I agree. We got to find out what the line is. I would love to hear what people say in the comments. But yeah, like, so yeah, it's the hentai stuff is weird.
Yeah, no, I think that's when I think most people would agree they're going too far. But for me, and I know you agree, Ingrid is a very good example of how to have it be an attractive and sexy character without having it be like so like ridiculous. Like, for instance, you in her cutscene, you see literally half her ass, right? But it's just for 1 second, and you can't see it on her character model, and it feels like, all right, this is what they're going to show in the commercials, but to get the players, and that's it, right? It doesn't feel like it's going to turn anybody off. You know what I mean? It's, let's say, tasteful. You know what I mean? In a way. Even then, that's kind of debatable. But, you know.
Yeah, I think that would definitely be debatable. I actually haven't seen the Ingrid cutscene. I'm going to do a guide on her in a couple days, so I wanted to have everything blind react. But yeah, I've heard things about it, obviously. I mean, it is what it is. You know, I think they should just think a bit more, because I think we'll all agree, and maybe this is where we end it before we go to the next part of the conversation. The Idril skin is nuts. Like, it's like torn leggings, it's ass out, it's boobs out. It turned, and also it's not just a different costume or different skin color on Idril. She also is like, her ass is way bigger, her boobs are way bigger. It's a whole new thing. So it's just, I mean, at that point, it's like, what are we doing?
It's not even dark fantasy.
Yeah.
It's not dark fantasy. It's, I don't know, some teenager's fantasy at that point. You know what I mean? It's, you know.
I would say for me that is definitively past the line. If people disagree, I would love to hear that. All in all, I do not see this like killing the game unless it's all that. And I will say, like you mentioned the Vienna skin, I loved the Vienna skin. I didn't even think of it as like a sexy thing. I just thought it looked cool. I thought Dahlia is an amazing design, and I don't think it's too much.
So cool.
Super
cool. She thinks it's too much. I love her. I think she looks awesome. Yeah,
Why do you think it's too much, Joe?
I mean,
the boobs was your
the boobs.
I would say,
boobs,
for me, I could do. I think you don't need to show so much skin to make these characters look hot, right?
Yeah.
It's clearly what they think, and I'm sure the sales numbers prove it. And if they don't, they'll change. Should we talk about?
What I'm saying is, well, you know, to help that point, I actually saw some Reddit posts, and I'll be putting them on screen here. But it really seems to be working. The selling works, right? So we cannot say that they don't know what they're doing. But I would just like as a community, for us to try to figure out where it's too far, be vocal about that, and try to keep them riding that line better. But go ahead, what were you going to say?
No, but I can respond directly to that. Yeah, like, I like the idea, like, if you're saying, I haven't seen it, but if, like, Ingrid's got, like, a sexy little half-cheek shot from behind or something, and just in the cinematic, and it's not like we're pulling Ingrid every day. If they're gonna have the little Debbie butt in the commercial, I think that's like freaking. If you want to get viewers, I mean, every gacha game says get 10,000 free summons. It's like in your freaking dreams, dude. Maybe become a content creator and play for 7 years, and then you'll get 10,000 free summons. I mean, it's not a thing, right? So if they want to advertise that way, it's fine. I don't think there's any. I can't think of a single example, including like even Idril, where someone looks inappropriate in gameplay. Because it's, you know, the sprites, it's like zoomed out.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like that's why we're making this video, is because it's tolerable now. Idril skin, debatable. It's tolerable now, but think about where they can go. Imagine if every time you click on a character, there's an animation of her doing a stripper dance on her weapon. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I wanted to make this now. So, all right, it's too far. Keep it where it is, and most people will be happy, I think, personally, who play the game.
Yeah, you know? I think I agree. And like the way the final thought I'd say is like Anora, the actual Anora skin is great. I think is it a little far? Maybe, but I don't think it so violates so many lines. Especially like, let's accept the field we're in and the genre this is. But yes, then when you have some of these cinematics and it's softcore pornography at the least, you know, it's like whoa.
Yeah.
Also, people have said this isn't porn. If you don't know what softcore porn is, it's because it's 2024 and we've all been completely violated by the internet. That is softcore pornography. That's what it is.
100%.
That is literally what softcore pornography is. So like, it definitely is something, and it's like, my grandmother asks what I do for a living, and like, I wish there was less of that in it.
That's no joke. Yeah, I wish I could show it to my family more, because I really do enjoy this game, and I really do want to share it to people. It's kind of crazy how infectious this game is. You just want to share it with everybody, you know. And there's people I just don't feel like I can share it with without feeling a little bit like, having to explain myself and defend the game.
And we're depriving ourselves with some of the top players. Like my soon-to-turn 90-year-old grandmother, she probably would be a beast. Like she would completely redefine the meta. I mean, the lady has brilliant
nothing better to
strats, absolute skills. If you think you've seen good stuff from me, or from other, if you like War Guides or Zucani or whoever, or j&gio, wait till you see Dorothy get it going, because it's wild.
Yeah, I have no doubt. But the little last bit, the last thing we want to talk about, I reached out to a few content creators, getting ideas for what they'd like to say, points they'd like to make in this video, and a thing I got a few times was this sexiest voice thing that they did for the community, and how not only are they sexualizing the characters, but they're also sexualizing their community in a real way.
Well, what I'll quickly say about this, for anyone, just to give background, because I think a lot of people probably don't know about this, which is, I think, a good thing. We had like the Content Creator Rewards, which is like the top 10 people, the thing I was fortunate enough to win, and that was just voting on your favorite content creator. And then internally, they did content creator voting for other content creator awards, and I believe the 3 topics were like most hype or best energy, right? Best dressed, and then sexiest voice. So best dressed was Destined, which is the meme to end all memes. We love it. Ivy was robbed. Yeah. I will die on that hill. I think Destined would also die on that hill. But hey,
I did vote for Destined, but don't tell Ivy.
Fun thing, I didn't vote because I couldn't figure out how to find the thread, because they made like a separate thread, and I'm technologically incompetent, so I saw it get announced, and then I never was able to find it again. But yeah, that's fun stuff like that. And like Mike and Ash got like all the votes for best energy, I think A+. But then they did sexiest voice, not best voice, not coolest voice, not prettiest voice or smoothest voice or best radio voice. No, nothing like that. It was sexiest voice. And I know, like, my issue is Slate won. Slate is a beautiful young woman, right? She's like one of a very few female creators in our space. And like, she has a very beautiful lilt to her voice, right? She said, she was on my stream the other day. She said she's got Scottish family. She's from England. She does have a nice voice, but to make it sexiest voice, it creates a situation that I know for a fact she did not sign up for. And I know none of us signed up for it, quite frankly. And I think that's just a strange way to present your creators. So amazing voice, but to put that descriptor on it with the backdrop of everything you guys have brought to our attention today, j&gio, I know I've spoken to a lot of content creators who thought it like wasn't fair, and quite frankly, personally, I don't think it's fair to have someone be nominated and win an award when they're like, well, I mean, that's not what I'm doing here. Like, also, just I gotta say, Slate's like a very high-end endgame player. It's, like, it's not, well, you can go on Twitch and find people in the, what do they call it, just chatting section, and maybe they would be happy to win sexiest voice. That's not what's going on here. So
Yeah, that's the thing, is that if you start sexualizing your community, like a person who doesn't want to come off as sexual, they want to come off as their GBG strats. They don't want people, that she's going to start attracting the wrong audience. And not only that, people, this is real thing about content creation, people will start trying to go into the DMs and try to do all this stuff that, it makes people very, very uncomfortable, on the other side. And this is something that needs to be avoided at all costs, let alone be, I think it's definitely, they didn't mean to do this. Moonton did not mean to do this.
Yeah, for sure.
But incidentally encouraged, right?
Yeah, it's a lack of foresight. I don't know. What do you think about all this, Joe? You agree?
That's the thing. When it's about sexiest voice, I kind of feel like it was not entirely, but it's kind of made for a female person. Don't get me wrong, guys, but
what are you trying to say about our voices?
Nothing, I swear. But it's kind of, I don't know, for some reason the sexy part is often associated with a female person.
Of course.
So when they say sexiest voice, it's
for sure.
It would have been kind of weird to, I don't know, to have him win.
You can count every female creator in the space on like 2 hands, if not one hand. And then like hand, and then you've got people like you that are a couple, and then like someone like Ivy whose husband also makes great content in the game. So maybe a little less easy to sexualize, but then you have people that aren't in that situation. I'm not going to name all the female content creators, but we do have a couple great female content creators in, if you guys don't know, a shockingly male-dominated space in terms of viewership. I just checked yesterday; it's 2.6% of my viewers are female. So you know what we're working with. You know, until we see King Hearts hanging dong, I think we know they're aware of the demographic as well. So
I'm be honest, I know that some dudes probably wouldn't like it, but I mean, some more arrogance kind of vibe dudes, some dude built like The Rock. Doesn't seem like a bad idea.
I'd be
you know
down.
what I mean? Exactly, right? You know what I mean? If you want to go into it, might as well do both sides. It's not like I can't see a dude who's ripped all to hell. Looks like,
I mean,
you know,
no question.
good.
And I'll tell you, like, it's a different space and we have an older demographic. But in the anime games, like Wuthering Waves, I've noticed it. But for sure in Genshin, the husbandos make more money for the game than the waifus.
Yeah,
if you know the anime,
no
terms, it's like the hot dude characters make more than the hot girls. So I think maybe that's how we should wrap it up. I want to see a skin for King Hearts, but he's wearing like mesh or leather or something.
100%. There you go.
That would be insane.
Yeah.
A different.
So
according to my girlfriend, King Hearts is daddy. So if he could be like a leather daddy.
No, maybe it since you have him A3, or no, if you get him A3, then you get a new skin, right? Because you're one awakening away.
Oh my God! It turned gold.
You know what I mean? So that'd be pretty worth it for you. Yeah.
And on that note, let's get this jerk off my screen, rubbing it in my face. What are you? You got a Praetus, you got a Valderon. I don't want to hear anything from you.
He's a lucky bastard.
Yeah.
Guys, any final thoughts on this? I mean, are you?
Okay. If you guys got this far, that means you either love seeing Fasti's face or you actually kind of care. And if you actually kind of care, I think the best thing to do is if a few other content creators were to maybe lead their voice in, you know what I mean, and really if we were to come together as a community and try to kind of lay the base, say where the line is, so Moonton could keep that in mind whenever they're planning on making new content. I think that would be the goal, the best case scenario for this video.
At least though, they are all very strong female characters. At least.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's a good point.
I mean, Ardea is one of the best characters in the game. And this new lady, Debbie, she looks like she's like an actual god. So I think that's a real props to Moonton. Yeah.
I just want to see Praetus without a shirt on, and then I think it's an even playing field, right?
There you go. I want to see all his roles.
That's not for you, Joe?
Nope.
Maybe he's got...
I like the guy. As a character.
Yeah.
He's got nipple tassels.
Yeah, maybe he's got nipple tassels. That's what I was going to
There
say.
you go. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I want to sleep decently tonight without this nightmare in my head.
Yeah. It's already there, though, right? Well, speaking of sleep, guys, if I'm not mistaken, it's 11:24 p.m. in Italia. Allora, prego, grazie mille. Thank you guys for coming on. Guys, if you don't know j&gio, this is your first time seeing them, especially if you made it to the end of the video. Clearly you like them. So absolutely go check them out. A hot new channel, just past 1,000 subscribers. Get on that train while it's still not totally full because they're off to the moon. Guys, any final words? Thank you so much.
No, we just really appreciate you guys getting this far in the video because it's not a normal video. So thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you made it this far, give me a hashtag shirtless Praetus in the comments. Share with your mother, and we'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.